Very much. Minister Valls, Ministers, Secretary General Noble, Your Excellencies, Mr. Mayor, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, friends. Thank you very much for inviting me to this first international forum on technologies for a safer world. And thank you and congratulations to all the organizers for taking this very timely initiative. It has almost become a cliché to mention new technologies' importance in our daily lives. But at the same time, we are still catching up with the role of technology can play in keeping our modern world secure. So I'm glad to see such a large audience here of senior ministerial officers, ministers, chiefs of police, security services, industrial leaders, researchers, everybody who's here to share ideas on how technology can reduce and prevent crime. Developing technology, as has been said here, is a two-sided coin. It has been said that technology brings you great gifts with one hand and it stabs you in the back with the other. The threat from terrorism and organized crime is evolving, and criminals will not stop seeking innovative ways to use development to their advantage. They too continuously improve their techniques and their technologies. This results in new forms of cyber attacks, new ways of hiding improvised explosive devices, and many other innovative uses of technology for criminal purposes. The 3D gun being developed is just one recent example. And our job here is to make sure that we are taking the greater advantage of technologies. Let me give you 3 examples of where technology plays a central role in the policies of the European Union. A first example is in detection of explosives. We have made good progress here, particularly on aviation security. After each threat event, security measures are improved to address and counter these threats. It happened with shoe bombs, underwear bombs, cargo bombs, liquid bombs. But as we are busy fixing the problems of yesterday and today, terrorists are searching for tomorrow's opportunities. So we must continuously keep asking ourselves, what will their next move be? And this is a question not only for policymakers and law enforcement, but for you, many of the experts here working in the private sector. Industry has been the source of some very important initiatives. Last year, the International Air Transport Association and the Airport Council came to the European Commission to discuss screening checkpoints of the future. This is just one example where we have successfully developed a good partnership. My second example is on cybercrime. Far too many criminals have seen evolution in cyber technology as a good chance to line their pockets, and we must face this reality. The European Cybercrime Center, EC3, within Interpol, launched earlier this year, is making good progress in fostering cooperation between EU member states and other countries worldwide. Expertise is growing in the pursuit of criminals using the darknet and encrypted cloud spaces, largely thanks to updated technical resources and increased know-how. And I'm particularly grateful for the close cooperation we have with Interpol in the fight against cybercrime. The European Cybercrime Center at The Hague and the soon-to-be set up Interpol Cybercrime Center in Singapore will work very closely together. How do we capitalize on progress in the fight against cybercrime? Well, private sector expertise is not a luxury, it's essential. We are therefore supporting EC3 to develop public-private partnerships with non-law enforcement players, as was discussed here just a minute ago. And we are also investing in the research and development of new cyber forensic tools. Successful projects here include progress on biometric recognition, and this is particularly effective in fighting one of the worst crimes, child sexual abuse. A third example of how we can benefit from the advantages of technology is in border security. The Commission's recent proposal on the so-called smart borders include an entry-exit system, a registered travel program, and an automatic system of EU border checks. Through use of technology, we can better enforce the rule on short stay in the European Union, while at the same time facilitate overall mobility. And in this broader context, there are 2 areas where we see a very important role for industry. The first is quick, easy, high-quality fingerprinting at border controls. Several initiatives are ongoing, notably with touchless sensors enabling fingerprints to be taken on the fly. and we must continue to pursue research in this promising field. A second field is the solution for land borders. Despite ongoing efforts and in contrast to quickly advancing development in biometrics, the identification process at land borders is still too cumbersome for travelers and border staff. We need technology here to help us identify persons within vehicles by faster facial recognition and pre-transmission of identity data before the person arrives at the border crossing. These are a few examples of areas where the use and understanding of technology has an impact on our safety and security. But of course, technology plays a role regardless of the type of threat we are addressing: money laundering, piracy, violent extremism, or other. Yet the way forward is not always self-evident. Technology can fail to address the right needs, be used inefficiently, or to be cost prohibitive. Cooperation between industry, law enforcement, and policy is therefore key to solve all these problems. For the future, I see three responsibilities for us policymakers in striving for effective cooperation. First is better appreciate the role technology can play in securing and strengthening security. Second, become better at risk and threat assessments, ensuring that industry and law enforcement are working together to understand and analyze the new risks. And thirdly, better articulate our security needs, sitting down with academia and industry and explain what problems need to be fixed. In all these areas, and it was also touched upon by the former speakers, of course we need to pay close attention to the fundamental rights and high standards of data protection. And I'm very happy to see that there are panels this afternoon and tomorrow on these issues, and it's also very timely. Technology is a powerful tool. By working together, we can create a common understanding of what the most important security threats are and how we can mitigate them. But we can only do this, ladies and gentlemen, by creating a strong alliance that makes a real and long-lasting difference in the fight against crime. And this is where this forum is extremely useful. Congratulations again to the organizers, and I hope that this will be a regular event where all these actors meet to discuss, to solve problems, and to be that key hub for better security and safety for citizens. Thank you very much for your kind attention.